remediation. This is Destiny. Scene. Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. Thank you for coming back in.
Thank you.
Of course. So last time when we had you in, we did a couple physical exams, right? Just trying to figure out what you were going through. I know you've been dealing with that pain in the knee.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you're getting ready for your marathon. You want to make sure we get you back on there as quickly as possible. Okay? So last time when you were here, like I said, we did those exams, and what we found, what us chiropractors like to call with your knee, is what we call patellofemoral pain syndrome. Okay? And to put it very frank and very simplistically for you, right? It's flare-ups of the knee. Right now, you're doing a lot of running, you're getting ready for your marathon, but I also see that you've increased your runs from about 5 to 7 miles to about 15 now, right? It's a big jump, and it's very impressive, right? But on top of that, it's a little bit too much for the body at this moment, right? So just like when you're getting in a hot tub, or just like when you're trying to take a shower or a bath, you want to make sure the water is not too cold and not too hot. We want that just right medium balance, right? That's what we want to make sure that we do for you, because right now, just from the activity, especially the increase in activity, there's been a couple of flare-ups within the knee, right? Completely normal. I don't want you to think that anything's wrong with you or that you're different than anybody else. Especially with this increased activity, everything's just fine, and we're going to be able to work through this together, okay? But like I said, we do have flare-ups every now and then. But just because we have a flare-up doesn't mean that we can't stay the course. We just may have to modify a little bit on how we're doing things, okay?
Okay.
So I have a couple things for you, right? First thing is I have exercises that we're going to be doing in office, as well as things that I want you to do outside of office, all right?
Okay.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about the things outside of office that you can do that's going to help you with this pain, okay?
Okay.
So the first thing is I want you to try to look at some new shoes, all right? The reason is because just like how a car's tires can run and pop over time, especially with long miles of driving, the same thing can happen with your shoes. After you've increased your running, especially if you've done multiple runs, that can really wear down the stability in the shoes. So we want to make sure that we have other options to be able to see if we can give the feet and knees more support.
Okay.
All right. Another thing is taping, right? There's different ways that we can tape the knee to bring pressure and relief while movement and while running, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to give you some different ways that we can tape your knee as well, all right? Mm-hmm. And I have an article that's going to go over all of these, so I'm going to give that to you to take home, so that way you can also look at that, and if you have any questions, you can go over that with me at any time.
Okay.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
So just like I was saying, the pros of these things, I also want to go over some of the cons.
Okay.
Right? So some of these cons could potentially be, like with the new shoes, a little bit of uncomfortability whenever you first start wearing them. We might want to break them in a little bit. Might want to make sure that everything's totally fine with them, walking in them here and there until we really feel that they've formed around our feet, or they're at least comfortable. All right? Mm-hmm. The next thing is with taping. We want to make sure we get you the right type of tape. There are some adverse effects with some of the glue, depending on the company and the tape that we get. And we want to make sure that we don't run into any discomfort, rashes, or any reactions to that tape. Okay? Mm-hmm. I'm also going to show you some ways that you can take the tape off easily and efficiently without having to feel any pain or that ouch ripping off the Band-Aid. All right? So that will be totally fine. Okay? But like I said, I'm going to give you this article. The article is going to go over a lot of this for you as well. All right?
Okay.
Perfect. So, like I said, what you're dealing with right now is PFPS, patellofemoral pain syndrome, right? Mm-hmm. Now, it's completely okay, just flare-ups of the knee. We're going to work on those together. We're going to find some different ways to find that balance, all right?
Okay.
Perfect. Now, I also see here that you're taking medication right now, right, for your depression that you were prescribed to by your doctor.
Yeah.
Great. We want you to continue to take that, and I want you to continue to run because I know it helps a lot with the depression, right? I see here also that you were talking about how you're really worried that you might not be able to continue this marathon. Well, I want to assure you that you've come to us at the right time. You've been able to catch this pretty early. So we'll be able to actually do a lot to make sure that not only do you feel better, but that you're continuously moving towards those goals, and we get you out there on that marathon.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Also, I see that you had a little bit of concerns, especially with some of the history that your family had in the past with knee surgeries. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Perfect, perfect. Well, I want to let you know, I completely understand, and it's very valid that you might feel a little bit of afraid or concerned based off of your own experiences when it comes to knee pain, right? But the thing that you're going through versus what your aunt was going through are very different. And we were able to catch this very soon, right? So with proper management and proper care, like I said, we find that balance. I'm very, very, very confident that we'll be able to get you through this. So I don't want you to think that what you're going through is the same thing that your aunt was going through, okay?
Okay.
Perfect. Now, there's one more thing I wanted to go over with you real quick, right? Also goes with your overall health. I know you're getting ready for the marathon. You're working with the depression, right? You're really doing things just to make sure you're feeling better. Great. The last thing I want to go over is I'm seeing here that you just haven't had your menstrual cycle in a couple months, right? Completely understand, and that's totally fine. What I want us to do is let's try to see how our diet is a little bit, right? I know you're going out to drink about 3 times a week, having about 5 to 7 drinks in the week. If we could, let's try to see if we can maybe lower that a little bit or monitor the type of drinks that we're having, as well as increase our food, right? Especially with you doing so much activity right now, increasing the nutrition that you're taking in can really help the body not only recover and go through those marathons and go through those runs, but hopefully, like we were talking about with your menstrual cycle and overall, feeling, okay? So I really want you to take these things into consideration. Look over that article I gave you, and please let me know if you have any questions, all right?
All right.
Perfect. So again, the thing that you're going through right now is PFPS, flare-ups of the knee, but we're going to be okay.
Okay.
Thank
awesome. Thank you.